Mike the Bee, theme music. Mike the Bee, theme music. You never know where he's gonna be. He's just gonna be Mike the Bee, theme music. Hello, my little flowers. We are at Halloween Horror Nights once again. We had to run into the park to do Stay and Scream because we were running a little bit behind this time, but we made it. We're here. We're heading to the Simpsons area to that holding pin, and I don't know if we really have a plan tonight. I think we're gonna do the bug house, and then we'll see what else we can run into. Otherwise, we're gonna see what we can see and do what we can do. So let's go. So we're sitting over here in the Simpsons area waiting for Stay and Scream for them to kind of open the gates. And so this phone like rings and you're supposed to pick it up, and I guess a Simpsons character says something. Well, my partner took the receiver off and the phone is still ringing. Like, is this the black phone house? Like, are we already here and somebody didn't like tell us or something? Looks like they got the carts out full of all kinds of merch. Still haven't found the fan though. Halloween movie merch for Halloween Horror Nights this year. My partner decided to get himself a drink to begin our evening. He got the Electric Death, which is New Amsterdam Gin, Bowls Blues to Rock, Lime Juice, B.R. Reynolds Orgate, Simple Syrup, Pineapple Juice, and Pimento Bitters. He said it was quite refreshing and a good start to our evening. My partner says to keep your drink chilled a little longer, dump them into your empty Coca-Cola Freestyle cup so you can enjoy it as you sip and scream the night away. So we're having us a little drinky drink before we get into all the craziness tonight. And this year on the pier over in the San Francisco area, closer to Diagon Alley, they've done this really, really nice wraparound kind of bar section, like loungy bar section. There's like some tables and chairs, but there's also these really nice kind of seated areas. So like, you know, if you just want to chill out for a little bit, like before, during, or even after, it's really, really nice. It's right on the water. Right behind me is where they do the lagoon show, so you probably have a really kind of fun angle for that show, although the front is actually on the other side. So, you know, if you don't care to see like the actual like, you know, frontal view of the show, you can probably come here and enjoy that or whatever. But it's actually really nice. Like, the music isn't super loud in this section, so you could actually come over here and have a decent conversation if you want to, or just sit back and relax. So that's what we're doing before we get this night started. During the day, I checked out Conjure the Dark. On the first All Hallows Eve, an evil sorceress called forth monstrosities from dark dimensions. Now your blood will fuel them.
First, I conjure the exalted ones, my pillagers of darkness. The bloodshed shall soon commence, my royal titans. From within the deepest trenches of the void, I conjure my flesh seekers. Venture forth into the night and fill it with screams, for there will soon be flesh to satiate your needs. I conjure my war-forged ravagers. Guard the gateways of our dimension, my loyal roots, and gather the elements to summon our newfound power. I summon you, dwellers of the night, to bear witness as I conjure the dark.
If you pass through the scare zone during the night, you'll get different shows on the stage throughout the evening. I did not make it back this evening, but I will definitely make a return to see what it looks like when the lights are out. So we caught the first showing of Halloween Nightmare Fuel Wildfire. If you happen to see this show last year, this year's version is almost an exact copycat with a few elemental changes. The show has the same featured acts, scantily clad performers, over-the-top disappearing, reappearing illusions, and tons of pyro. Sounds absolutely amazing. But for me, the amount of filler and fluff between the main acts, the long and drawn-out stand and model showgirls, and loss of story, and yes, there is a story, kills the momentum and doesn't match the energy of the event. I get vibes of Vegas when I watch the show, which I feel would be absolutely amazing to see and probably a better setting to suit this show. I've definitely got an unpopular opinion because I talked to several people that absolutely love the show, and I'm not saying you shouldn't see the show. Just my personal take remains the same from last year. I don't care for it, but I think you should see it for yourself and form your own opinion. I do want to give a shout out to the most entertaining part of the show that we saw. We met the grand darling Marina. She was amazing. If you don't follow her on Instagram, I will definitely put her link down below. She makes all her own outfits. She's absolutely amazing. Of course, if you've seen the darlings around any of the parks, Universal, Disney, etc., you know who they are, and they are amazing. So I just love her energy before the show even started. She was getting the crowd going. It was amazing. And honestly, it was probably the best part of the show. We decided it was time for something to eat, so we stopped into Krusty Burger and Cletus's Chicken Shack, located in the Springfield section of Universal Studios, Florida. My partner went with the Clogger Burger Combo. It's a 2/3 pound burger topped with applewood smoked bacon, secret sauce, cheddar cheese sauce, a giant tomato slice, and iceberg lettuce on a specialty bun. It's served with curly fries and a regular shake. I went with the chicken and waffle sandwich platter, a double battered extra crispy fried chicken breast between two waffles with maple syrup mayo, served with tater tots. So our first house of the evening was Bugs Eaten Alive. While touring a 1950s home of the future, you'll be swarmed by hordes of revolting insects as they worm their way into your deepest fears. I rather enjoyed this house. It had like this campy 1950s feel to it. And then of course the bugs, as they kind of mutate and they kind of take over the house, was very interesting and fun for me. There are actual real live bugs in this house, so if you have any type of phobia, you may want to sit this one out. So we had some time to kill before our next house, so we decided to go through the Sweet Revenge Scare Zone, of course at night. The sweets from Major Sweets Candy Company have turned children into crazed killers. This Halloween's all trick, no treat, and total mayhem. So this is my favorite scare zone this year at Horror Nights. Usually I'm not too fond of the scare zone used in the New York section just because it's a very large section. The street is very wide and it seems to be very hard for them to fill the area with enough props and scare actors to give it like a nice vibe. They did a really good job this year though. I love the theme. It's a nice like campy yet creepy theme with the candy company, and of course just all the props, all the scare actors. They did a really good job, and I'm really going to enjoy visiting this scare zone over and over again this year.
Don't eat the candy. Something is wrong with the candy. Ah, get off me! Please stop, you little fool!
So next we decided to do the Horrors of Blumhouse House, which combines two movies from the Blumhouse franchise, Freaky and Black Phone. So the movie Freaky is about a 17-year-old Millie Kessler spends her days trying to survive high school and the cruel actions of the popular crowd. But when she becomes the latest target of the Butcher, the town's infamous serial killer, her senior year becomes the least of her worries. When the Butcher's mystical dagger causes him and Millie to magically switch bodies, the frightened teen learns she has just 24 hours to get her identity back before she looks like a middle-aged maniac forever. I did enjoy this portion of the house. It followed the movie quite well with some very key scenes throughout that you could see right in front of you. It kept the campy but dark feeling of the movie throughout this part of the house. The second part of the house, which was actually separated from the first part of the house, was The Black Phone. Finney Shaw is a shy but clever 13-year-old boy who's being held in a soundproof basement by a sadistic masked killer. When a disconnected phone on the wall starts to ring, he soon discovers that he can hear the voices of the murderer's previous victims, and they are dead set on making sure that what happened to them doesn't happen to Finney. So my partner and I both agree that we did not enjoy this portion of this house. It felt very rushed. It seemed like there was a lot of elements that were missing that they probably could have put in. I don't know if it was because of the space constraint or maybe they were just short on time putting this part of the house together, but it just felt like there could have been a little bit more to this after we watched the movie. The movie was very well done, I thought, and I felt like the house really didn't do it justice. So as we were heading out, we passed through the Horrors of Halloween Scare Zone. The Pumpkin Lord, the spirit of Halloween, has taken over this year's event. Summoning hordes of fiendish creatures, terror has taken root. So I do find this Scare Zone to be very visually pleasing, especially with all the jack-o'-lanterns. Although it seems to be quite empty every time we walk through. I don't know if it's our timing or that's just the way it's set up this year. There doesn't seem to be very many scare actors roaming around. Of course, you can meet the Pumpkin Lord at the very entrance to the park and the event. He's there. You can take some pictures. Again, the lighting and everything is done really, really well. I do find it a little lackluster because he does just kind of just sit there, so there's not really a whole lot that's going on. Although if you time it just right, you'll get his farts of pumpkin spice. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for here tonight at Halloween Horror Nights. We got 2 more houses done. We went through the scare zones a little bit more. The crazies are out. It's late. It's time to go home. So thanks for watching and following along. As always, I am Mike to be. You never know where I'm going to be. I'm just going to be. You be too. I'll see you guys later. Bye!